Yo, I just wanted to show you a Beermoney app that I've been using for a couple months now called Tyr Rewards. I've earned a little over 320 bucks from it. Tyr Rewards primarily pays you to download and play games. Now, something nice about Tyr Rewards is that they run like a bonus promotion every at least once a week, which is pretty nice, especially when you get like a decent paying game or a very high paying game. Just gives you like a little extra bonus on what you would usually earn from it. Now, I do have a couple gripes with Tyr Rewards, and I did come across a couple problems, which I'll cover in a little bit. But anyways, let's get to my full screen. Alright, really quick before I start, if anyone's curious on what Beermoney apps to continue to use or cash out from, I do have a monthly earnings page on my blog where I show what I cash out from for the whole month, every single month. I do plan to talk about this on my main channel. I've just been very lazy to upload on there, but I want to have like a dedicated video where I kind of talk about Beermoney a little more and finances and investing and stocks or whatever else I do with money, but both of those will be linked in the description if anyone's curious. Now let's get to the review. Just to show you really quick, I've earned 323 bucks on Tyr Rewards. I think this took me about, I want to say like 2.5 months. I don't remember. It wasn't too long, but you know, for 300 bucks, that's pretty decent from Beermoney. Now, the conversion rate for Tyr Rewards is 100,000 points to $1. I'm not a big fan of this just because it's a very large conversion rate to have to do. Like, it's not hard to do it, but it's just really annoying. Most Beermoney apps will have like 1,000 points to $1 or 100 points to $1 or whatever currency they have. I think they do this on purpose just to make it a little harder for you to compare like prices of the games for Tyr Rewards compared to like another app that has the same games. Just my thoughts. I could be wrong. Now the main page that you have to focus on, or that you really need to only focus on, is the offers page. And most or all the offers that they give you are multi-level game rewards. Like, occasionally they'll offer like a banking app or like an investing app, but it's mostly games. If you're not too familiar with multi-level reward games, they're basically games that pay you to play them, and they have like a set amount of tasks, and every task will pay you a certain amount. And the further down that you get in the task list, the harder it is and the more it pays you. Now, something nice about the games on Tyr Rewards, I didn't look through all of them, and they do come out with new games every week or other week, I don't remember. But they separate the in-game purchases as like kind of a bonus compared to like tasks that force you to make the in-game purchase. And the important thing about this is some apps and some games will will have like in-game purchase tasks within like the main task list. And the annoying thing about this is they force you to make the in-game purchase before you can move on to the next task. Not all of them, but some of them do, and there's no way to really know. At least I haven't found a way to really know if it does or not. But, you know, just for an example, let's say after the first task where it says complete board 2, it might have a task saying like, oh, buy the battle pass for like $5.99. Now, the annoying thing about this is it forces you to make the in-game purchase before you can move on to the next task. Even if you complete board 3 in the game, it won't count it until you make the in-game purchase. It's just annoying, especially if you don't want to like spend money, and they often don't pay you enough to cover the cost. Like, you know, if it's $5.99, they might pay you like, I don't know, like 99 cents. So you just lose $5. Like, sure, you might recoup the cost later on, but you don't really know because some of these games are kind of difficult to complete. So it's just a minor annoyance that I have. But that's a nice thing about Tyr Rewards. Now, unfortunately, Tyr Rewards is just like most of the Beermoney apps. It does have a deadline for all the tasks. As you can see, you know, with the first task, complete board 2 within 5 days, board 3 within 5 days, and board 5 within 5 days. Now, if you don't complete them within 5 days of when you downloaded the app, it'll expire the task. So, you know, if you miss the first 3, those first 3 tasks will expire. There's no way to redo the tasks or like recoup them to, you know, get any payment for them. So, you know, just make sure you do the task within the time limit if, you know, when you can. Now, this doesn't mean that, you know, if you miss any expired early tasks, it doesn't mean that you can't continue the task list. It just means for whatever task that you don't do within the time limit, that's the only task that expires. Like, nothing else like really happens. Now, Tyr Rewards, as I mentioned earlier, has a promotional bonus, which they run at least once a week. I think they usually run these on weekends, and it usually lasts about 2 days on the weekends. So sometimes it's on a Friday, sometimes it's on a Saturday, and those will last for 2 days. Sometimes they run it on like a random Monday or random Wednesday and Thursday for one day. Today is a Monday, so they are running it for one day, as you can see at the very top. And this is kind of the only place that you can see it. It'll usually be in red, and it says like however many days it has left. They also run these on major holidays like Christmas and Thanksgiving and whatever other holidays there are. And they usually run it for the holiday ones for a longer time. And the bonus is a 1.2 bonus, which is a 20% increase bonus on your earnings for every single game and every single offer. Now, it doesn't show you right here, but it does say at the top that you earn up to 20% bonus. Like when you download a game, it'll like show you that the bonus is applying. Now, the bonus should still apply even for the games that you download. So if you want to try to maximize your earnings, you might want to like time when you complete the offer when the bonus is running, just for a 20% increase offer. Now keep in mind, like I said earlier, there are time limits for every task, so don't try to like risk losing a task just to wait for a bonus to happen, just to get like 20% extra. It's better to just secure that you completed the task and you got the money for it than it expiring and trying to wait for the bonus to happen. It is kind of annoying to not really know when the bonus is happening. I think they send a notification. I'm pretty sure they send a notification like the day before, so that kind of helps. Now, I want to move on to kind of a cautious thing or a problem that I had with Tyr Rewards. I'll just use Monopoly Go as an example. Unfortunately, I took like a 3-month break from using this app, so I can't show you the game that it happened to, or it happened on, because, it's just not in my history anymore. I don't know why they deleted it from my history, but I mean, I still got paid for it, so, it's the main, that's the main, benefit. Now, I was playing a game, and I was about to finish the last task. I think it was about to pay me like $25 or $30, and I had 2 days left before it expired. And I had a tracking problem with it, even though I completed it. And usually when you have a tracking problem, you want to wait like 6 to 10 hours, and which I did, and it still didn't update that I completed it. I hit up support, and I waited about 3 to 4 days. I don't remember how long it took me, but they sent a message saying, unfortunately, we can't compensate you for the task because it looks like it already expired. And the only reason it expired is because I had to wait like an extra 1 or 2 days past the time that it expired, so they couldn't pay me the money. And the main reason I bring this up is in case this happens to you. So let's say you're about to finish board 3, and you have like 2 days left. If your offer doesn't track, try to give it like 6 to 10 hours. Check again. If it hasn't tracked again, take a video or a couple pictures showing that you completed the task in the game, and show the date of when you completed it, as well as showing like the offer right here on this page, showing that you still have the offer available and you still have time left, and show the current date that you can prove that you still have time left. Now, they didn't prompt me for this, so I don't know if this will work, and I didn't think about doing this until months later. But if this happens to you and they say that they can't recoup or they can't compensate you because it looks like the offer expired, just try to send a message to them saying like, hey, I've got proof showing that I still have time. The only reason why it expired is because I had to wait for my ticket to finally get reviewed or something. And I don't know if this will help or this will work and compensate you, but just in case it happens to you, try to do that and keep that in mind. Now, I do want to mention an extra resource. I don't really know how you get there from this app. You can probably get here from this app, or like you can just probably search on Discord or Google. But they do have a Discord community where you can join. Now, I didn't really use it too much. I just looked around there for like 5 minutes, but it looks like a pretty decent place. Join a community with a ton of people who use Tyr Rewards and talk about like Beermoney and stuff. And I'm pretty sure the devs there, or like whoever works at Tyr Rewards, will help you with like certain questions. I'm pretty sure you can't solve like tracking issues there, or any issues that you would solve going through like making a ticket or customer support. So, just keep that in mind. It's probably just going to be there for like solving your questions about things if you have questions, rather than like problem solving or anything. Now, on a side note, just to take a little tangent,
I do want to talk about a little update I have for all this beer money stuff. I do have a multi-level rewards page talking about how these apps work and how they track you and how these games work and how you can prevent yourself from getting locked out from offers and stuff. I do plan to update that in the near future. I want to add like cheap phones that I would recommend for doing beer money and like sites that I'd recommend from buying phones from for cheap or usually cheap. I do want to also have like a separate page where I show a ton of these beer money offer, kind of like a library where it shows like a ton of like beer money offers, and I show the prices from various beer money apps to show how much each beer money app pays for a certain offer, because some beer money apps do pay a lot for a certain game and some will pay a lot less. And you know, certain apps that pay even a lot for all beer money apps will usually have certain games that they really excel at for paying the highest for. And I want to have like a page where you can go there and see if you're getting paid a decent amount or a fair amount for a certain game offer, or even if you have a game that you've been wanting to play or try out and you want to see if it is offered on any beer money app as an offer that would pay you, you know, that'd be pretty nice. You know, if you had a game that you really wanted to try for a bit, or we're curious about, maybe you can get paid for it while you try it and have fun on it or something. But those will be in the near future when I try more game offer or more beer money apps and I have a little more time to do all this stuff. But anyway, so let's get back to the review. Now, there's not too much else to talk about on Tyr Rewards, so let's move on to the cash options. Now, I might have miscounted, but if I counted right, I think they have about 283 different cash out options. But even if I counted wrong, they do have a ton. If you have like a very specific cash out that you want to do, they probably have it. But you know, if anything, they have the main cash outs that most people would want, which is PayPal and bank transfers or virtual Visa cards. Walmart's down there somewhere I saw. You know, they have eBay and Amazon and all that. The minimum cash out is usually $1 to $5. Most of them should be $1. There were some that I saw where it's like $10 and $15 and $25. But, you know, like I said, most of them are $1. Now, I only cashed out from PayPal, and I can say that at least PayPal is an instant cash out. If you do choose to do PayPal, they're going to send you an email, and you're going to have to go to your email account, whatever email account you signed up with Tyr Rewards. They usually send it within like a minute or two of your cash out. You're going to go there, click on the link, and open the email, and it's going to say like a redeem option. You're going to redeem it from there. It's going to take you to the Tremendous website, which most beer money apps use to get instant cash outs for PayPal. And then you're going to confirm all your information, and then it should send you the PayPal payment within like, I want to say like 1 or 3 minutes usually. There might be a delay, but most of the time it should be pretty instant. Now, I'm going to show you really quick the cash out payment proof that I did recently with Tyr Rewards, just to show you it's instant. And I did forget to mention this earlier, but the Tyr Rewards is on the iOS store as well. And the only reason why this is important is most beer money apps don't make it to the Apple store. Like 99% of the apps don't. And if they do, it's probably a legit app, because it's really, really difficult to get on the Apple Store because there's so many restrictions and regulations they have to go through. But, you know, just mentioning that as an extra thing. I don't know. I don't know. Anyways, Tyr Rewards does have a verification thing, which should pop up when you do your first cash out. So let's say you're doing PayPal, and then you hit claim now. It's going to pop up a window saying, hey, you need to verify your account. And I'm not a big fan of this verification service that they use. A lot of beer money apps use it. I always have a problem with it, but I forget the name of it. But it's going to take you to another page or another window, and it's going to have you allow access of your camera, and it's going to have you scan your face. And it's going to be like an oval with a camera scanning your face. Within like about 5 to 10 seconds of it scanning your face, it's gonna like, I forget what it says, but it changes to like the camera goes away and it'll say like processing. Now you're gonna keep wanting to scan your face, just don't move or anything. I think it's still scanning when it says like processing, even though the like camera window's gone, because every time I kept moving my face after the camera window went away, I always just kept failing. So I'm pretty sure that's the case. And then it's going to, once it like verifies you or your face, it's going to want you to scan an ID, either like a driver's license or, a residence card. I think passports work as well. I don't know. And you're going to want to do the same thing. You want to keep the camera scanning the card, even if it says like it's processing and like the camera's gone. And then once that's finished, it should verify you, and then you should be able to cash out. Now I'm just going to mention this just because I had this problem. It's not a big deal, but when I went back to cash out after it confirmed everything and it said that it verified me, it said that my verification failed, and then I clicked on it to re-verify myself, and it took me back to the page, and then it just, I don't know, it just verified, or it just updated and said it verified me. So, in case that happens, don't panic or anything. Now, there's not too much else to talk about this app just because there's only really one way to earn on here. So I'm going to close off with some closing thoughts. I do think Tyr Rewards is a decent app. There's a lot of cash out options, and most of them are at least $1 for minimum payments. If you have a very specific cash out that you want to do, it's probably here. The cash outs are instant, at least with PayPal, which is super nice. Some of the game offers are decent paying. I don't know if they're the highest. I forget. It's just really hard for me to compare prices just because I don't know. It's an annoying conversion rate. But I think some of the games are pretty decent. I remember playing some games that were like the highest offer I've ever seen for the game on any other Beermoney app. They do run the 1.2x promotion, which is a 20% increase earnings on all your games and tasks, which is super nice. So if you ever get like a pretty decent paying game or a very high paying game, it just adds the bonus to it, making it like one of the highest offers that you can get on any other Beermoney app, because other Beermoney apps don't run any promotions, even if they offer like the highest price for that game. So that's another nice thing about Tyr Rewards. One of the gripes that I have is I feel like there's not a lot of games on here, because when I try like other Beermoney apps, I feel like I get a lot more games. That could just be me, could just be my location as well. But maybe you have more games. I do wish that Tyr Rewards would have like more options to earn, because a lot of Beermoney apps that offer games will also have like surveys or another way of earning, like watching ads or some streak going promo codes or a certain thing to just increase your earnings on the side. Or if you're waiting for a game, you can also do like a survey or something instead to earn on it still. But I think I'd probably recommend trying out Tyr Rewards. Like I said, there are some games that look like they pay like the highest over time, and maybe in a week or two or a month you get like a pretty high paying game that's a new game for you. But I'd probably recommend it on a separate phone. If you already have a Beermoney app that offers game on your main phone, probably not using Tyr Rewards on it. But that's pretty much all for this app. If you want to look for any other apps, or if you're curious on any other Beermoney apps, I do have a ton of other reviews. I do plan to come up with more reviews in the future on my blog and on my channel. If you want to support me a little bit, I'll have my referral link in the description. But anyways, I'm gonna get back to my Kingdom anime. Take care.